Hi guys, welcome back down to the Chord Clinic. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the basic chord shapes that I use in a lot of my tutorials. Now please feel free to come back and use this video down the line if you want a refresher at any of the chords. I will put in the description just a quick key to be able to get to the chord that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a C chord or a G chord, feel free to have a look at the description. You can jump straight to that part of the video. If you do find today's video useful, please feel free to have a look at my page. There's some great tutorials there, from anything from how to tune a guitar to getting started with some of your favourite songs. So please take a look at that. If you do have any feedback or any requests, also please do feel free to drop us a message as well. Throughout all of the different chords we go through as well, I'll put up a little diagram and that'll show you how to play those chords. So if you do want to pause as we go along, have a bit of a practice with it, refer back to the diagram and make sure you're happy with the fingering, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so let's get started with the C major chord. Now the C major chord is going to sound like this. Now the way we're going to play that is we're going to take our ring finger, and that's going to play the 3rd fret on our A string. We're going to take our middle finger, and that's going to play the 2nd fret on our D string. And then our 1st finger is going to play the 1st fret on our B string. So ring finger, 3rd fret on the A, middle finger, 2nd fret on the D, and index finger, 1st fret on the B. And it'll sound like that. Like I say, if you need to pause the video, have a look at the diagram, have a bit of a practice playing it, you should be able to get there. Alright, so now we'll take a look at the D chord. Now the D chord is going to sound like this. Now the trick with the D chord is to only play the bottom 4 strings of your guitar. Now, the way that it's going to work is we're going to take our middle finger and play the 2nd fret of our high E string. Our ring finger is going to play the 3rd fret of our B string. And then our index finger is going to play the 2nd fret of our G string. And all together it's going to sound like this. So again, pause the video, take a look at the diagram, make sure you can get it sounding nice like that. Now one other common variation of the D chord is, rather than playing like that, we'll just use the index finger and bar all 3 of your highest strings on the 2nd fret. And then your middle finger will play the 3rd fret on the B string, which you were covering earlier. So the chord shape's exactly the same. You don't have to play it this way, it's just another variation that some people find easier to play than the 3-finger version. So any variation is absolutely fine. So once you're happy and confident with your D chord, we'll then have a look at the D minor chord. Now the D minor chord is only 1 note difference to the D major chord, which is what we just looked at. So your D major sounds like this, and your D minor sounds like this. So exactly as we did with the D major chord, we're just going to play the top 4 strings. All that's going to happen is that high E string note is going to slide back 1 fret down to the 1st fret. So we'll take our index finger and play the 1st fret on the E. Our ring finger comes and plays the 3rd fret on the B. And then our middle finger plays the 2nd fret on the G. Should sound like that. Moving on now, we'll take a look at our E chord. That's going to sound like this. So to be able to play that, we're going to take our middle finger and play the 2nd fret on our A string. We're going to take our ring finger and play the 2nd fret on our D string. And we're going to take our index finger and play the 1st fret on the G string. So middle finger, 2nd fret A string. Ring finger, 2nd fret D string, and index finger, 1st fret G string. All together. And for this, you play all 6 strings. So moving from E major to E minor, similar to when we were looking at the D, all we're going to do is move the highest string that we're playing down 1 fret. So for us, the highest string we play is a G string. Right now we play 1st fret with our index finger. To be able to play the E minor chord, we're just going to take that finger off, and that's going to give us our E minor sound. So E major, I let go with the index finger and I get E minor. So moving on now to the F major chord. This is one of the more challenging chords to play, and the reason for that is with our index finger, we need to bar the 2 bottom strings on the 1st fret. So the high E string and the B string, the index finger is going to come across and cover the 1st fret on both of those. Our middle finger is then going to play the 2nd fret on the G string. So those 3 strings, 2nd fret with the middle finger, and then your 1st fret on the B and E with your index. Your little finger is then going to come across and play the 3rd fret on the D string. And then our ring finger is going to come across and play the 3rd fret on the A string. Altogether it'll sound like that. Similar to how we did with the C, we're not going to play the low E string, we're just going to play the 5 strings from that we've actually got our fingers on. So this one, like I say, is a little bit trickier. Give it a bit of time, pause the video, have a run through it a bit, and you'll be able to get there. So now that we've managed to get the F chord sorted, let's take a look at the G major chord. Now the G major chord is going to sound like this. Now there's 2 different ways to play a G major chord. The first one is that we're going to take our middle finger and play the 3rd fret on our low E string. Our index finger is going to play the 2nd fret on our E string. And then our little finger is going to play the 3rd fret on our high E string. So middle finger on the low, little finger on the high, both 3rd fret. And then our index finger is playing that 2nd fret on the A. So that's your first way of playing it. Those 3 fingers, those 3 frets, and that's your G chord. Now what's also quite common is you take your ring finger and play the 3rd fret on the B string. So you add that in, everything else stays exactly the same, you just add that extra note in there. Whichever one you decide to use, absolutely fine, but both are valid and both have the pros and the cons. So whichever one you prefer. Okay, so we'll move on to the final chord that we're going to be learning in this video, which is an A chord. It's going to sound like this. Now to be able to play it, we're going to take our index finger and play the 2nd fret on our D string. We're going to take our middle finger and play the 2nd fret on our G string. And then we're going to take our ring finger and play the 2nd fret on our B string. So every single fret's going to be the 2nd fret, and it's going to be from D, G and B, all 2nd fret in that order. That's the A major chord. Now, some people do like to play it all with 1 finger as well. So if you want, you can take your index finger, cover all 3 of those frets just with the index finger, and you get it like that. But I personally find it easier to use the 3 fingers. So now that we've got A major, we'll take a look at A minor as well. Now, similar to when we were looking at D major, D minor, and E major, E minor, the A major, A minor rule follows the exact same pattern that those ones did. So A major, we take the highest string that we play and then move it down 1 fret. So for us, our highest string is a B string. We're going to slide that down 1 fret from 2nd fret down to 1st fret, and that'll give us our A minor. So A major, A minor. Now the fingering is slightly different for it, so we'll run through the fingering for this one. We'll take the middle finger, it's going to play the 2nd fret on the D string. We'll take the ring finger and play the 2nd fret on the G string. And then our index finger is going to play the 1st fret on the B string. that's your A minor chord. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I hope you found those chord videos useful. If you do want to put any of them into practice, please feel free to have a look at my page and feel free to subscribe, have a look at what videos are on there. I'm going to be putting out quite a bit of content using a lot of those basic chord forms that we've used today and trying to put them into all of our favourite pop songs and songs that we all enjoy playing. So please feel free to have a look at those. Likewise, if you need to go back through the video, I'll put a link in the description so you can jump straight to the chord that you want to look at. So if you want to get more practice or you want to relook at the diagram or anything like that, feel free to do that as well. But have a look at the page and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you.